Hi guys, in this video we're going to be going through some of the prep work on this Volkswagen camper. You will have seen this one before in one or two of the other videos. We did the guide coat video and also the primer video on this one, as it's a big job that we've had on over the Christmas period. So in this video we're going to be covering the basics really of the prep on this section of the van, and also a bit of direct gloss, which one of you guys out there has asked to see. Direct gloss just being straight gloss 2K colour. Not a massive fan of it myself. Every now and again it gives me problems, which just does my head in. I'd rather do it in base and clear, but budgets and also time wise, you know, it's not always possible to do things in base coat and clear. And 2K direct gloss gives a real good cost effective way of painting a van or a car if you've got a bit more of a tight budget. So we're starting off here. We just got the DA and we've got the interface pad on the DA, and we've got the P400 on there, and basically all we're going to do is give this a good buzz down. Now if you saw the other videos, then you'll know this has had 4 coats of high build, so it's got plenty on there, so the chances of breaking through are pretty slim. So we're just going to start off DA, give all this a really good nib down and make sure all that orange peels out, because if you remember, this van has already been fully blocked and fully primed again, so this van is nice and straight and nice and flat. So all this needs now really is the DA, just to get rid of the orange peel and make sure all them 180 marks have gone from when we blocked it, and then we can get on to getting some colour down and making this van look nice again. It's going in 2 different colours. It's going on like the Old English white on the top, and it'll be going in a nice light blue on the bottom. In this video we're just going to cover the light blue, and if you stay tuned till the end, then you'll see the pictures of the masking stage and also the white once it was painted on, and the finished van, which I have to say I was quite happy with. It's come out really nice. Right, so we've got all that section DA'd down now, and we're only going to do this one panel because it just takes too long in a video to do the whole van. So what we've done now is we've DA'd all the flat surfaces, and now we've just got the 400 by hand, and we're just going around all the edges and all the little nooks and crannies, just to take the peel off and make sure that there's no harsh scratches left in there, so it's ready to take the colour on nice. Once we've done this process, then we're going to move on to the soft sponges. Again, I'm just using a 400. It's a direct gloss. They cover really well, and it's going to have 3 coats. I've shown 2 coats in the video because, again, I didn't want to put all 3 down just because the video ran to about 18 minutes, I think, as it was. So obviously, you know, I want you guys to sit and watch. And 3 coats of the same colour is a bit hard to watch sometimes, so I tried not to get it too long. So that's pretty much all I've done really, is I've just gone around all the edges on that front end and around the rest of the van and nibbed them off with the 400 disc by hand. Now I've switched over to the 400 just on a soft back sanding foam. So all we're going to do now really is do the same again, do the edges and everything, and also all the edges of like the lines where we've not DA'd because we don't want to burn through the primer. Even if we did burn through the primer on this one, there's that much primer on it that we're probably not going to burn through to a repair. We're only going to burn through to, you know, all the primer that we put on before underneath when we did the blocking stage. So we're just going to go around all the light bowls, make sure you get all your panel edges, you know, along the top where this blue is going to meet the white, make sure all that's smoothed out. And we're only going to prep the bottom end for now, and then we're going to paint the bottom end, and then once the bottom end's painted, basically I'm going to mask it up, prep it, and then paint the top end in the white at a later date, which is actually the next day after this video. Okay, so as you can see by the van, what we've done is I've masked up some of the interior just to stop any overspray going in there. The interior hasn't been done yet, that's going to get done at a later date. For now we're just concentrating on the outside, so it's just had a rough mask round just to stop the worst of the dry overspray getting in there. All the van's been prepped up, it's all been blown down with the high pressure air, it's all been panel wiped. I know it's all fresh paint, but still panel wipe it just to be on the safe side, and then it's all been done with a tack rag, so it's nice and clean, and the booth floor's all been wet down, ready to paint. So for this, I'm going to be using my Iwata w-400. For top coats, this is my favourite gun. It pumps it out really well, but it also puts it on really nice and flat. And as you probably remember me saying earlier on, I don't really enjoy direct gloss colours. If I could do it in base coat and lacquer, I would, but at the end of the day, the customer's got a budget, the shop's got a budget, so you're doing the best you can for the budget that you've got to work with. And I have to say, as far as direct gloss colours go, to be fair, you know, I'm not a perfect painter. I'm not the best painter in the world, don't claim to be the best painter in the world, and to be quite honest, I don't want to be the best painter in the world, because if I did, then I'd probably lose a bit of passion for it, because I wouldn't still be learning new things every day. And that's one thing I love about this job. New materials, new tools, new spray guns, new processes, etc. It's great, you can learn new stuff every single week. Even now, I sit up most nights watching videos, researching new products, trying to figure out what I can get on the channel for you guys to see that's new on the market, or that's not very well known, that may or may not be of benefit. For me, it's all worth looking into and seeing what's what. So, as far as this goes now, the gun's nice and set up now. I know I'm spraying right, and we've done them 2 panels in their first coat. So we're going to start on the van now. And again, make sure when you're doing any job really, that you're getting down, you know, bend your knees, as daft as that sounds, get right underneath so you can get all your edges, and make sure all your edges are covered, because if you don't, then the problem is that when you get it outside, them edges are going to end up being transparent and you're going to see the primer through it. Or if it's a job like this where we're painting the doors separately, then you could end up bolting the doors on, and you've missed the very edge of the door, and it's going to stand out a mile to the side of the van. And then this really nice job that you've spent weeks worth of work getting ready for paint, you've gone in the booth, and for the sake of an extra few seconds here and there and a bit of double checking, you know, it's not going to look right, because you just missed that tiny little edge that's going to stand out like a sore thumb. And we've all done it. You know, I think everyone's missed a bonnet edge or a door edge at some point in their life. It happens. But if you go in there with the mindset of trying to check and make sure that you don't miss any, then, you know, you stand a better chance. Right, so down to the actual painting part of this van. On this first coat, what we're going for is we're going for a full sealed coat. We don't want it on too heavy, so don't be absolutely throwing it on, which is why I'm going quite quick. So although it looks like I'm absolutely chucking the paint on this van, we are putting a thin but fully sealed coat. That's just going to give us a really nice coat, so that when we put the second and the third coat down, they've got something really nice to grip to. And the best way that I can really say to put direct gloss down is to basically treat it like lacquer, because it's pretty much really all you're putting down is coloured lacquer. My mistake always used to be with this is to try and treat it as a completely different kind of paint, and when I stopped treating it like that, I stopped treating it like something completely different to base coat, something completely different to lacquer and anything else that we use. You know, when I stopped treating it that way, then I found I could get it down really nice. And I have to say, with this gun, this van came out, well, I was happy with it anyway. It's come out really nice. It just wants a couple of little nibs here and there, and then it's going to be good to go. So for the first coat, just make sure basically everything's covered as best you can, that you've got on all the gaps, all the panel edges, and that you've got that nice first wet coat down, so you've got really a good grip coat for your second coat. Because on the second coat, what I'll be doing is I'll be slowing this right down on the second coat, so we can get it on nice and wet and nice and thick, and get that real good full coverage on the colour. As I said before, this does cover in one coat over this grey, but even though it might colour up in one coat, or you know, it might take 2 coats, but even though it just covers in one coat and it you know, it won't look see-through in the booth. When you get it outside, there's not going to be enough paint on it. And if you've got anything that you need to denib and polish, then the second you touch it, you know, you're just going to burn straight through. So putting this, a colour like this, really, you know, would be absolutely fine with 2 coats. And just for the sake of the fact that we spent a lot of time on this van and we had more than enough paint ordered in, I did decide to give both the blue and the white that we put on top 3 coats. And plus, if we got to the stage where we needed to denib and polish anything, then we know that there's plenty of paint on there, and we're not going to get any issues with breaking through anywhere. Which again, you know, obviously once you put a lot of time into something, and you've put a lot of time in all the prepping and the repairing, and then you spent all this time in the booth painting it, and then, you know, the next day there's a full day masking it, prepping all the top end up, getting all that nice, and then prepping all the booth up again to paint the white on. The one thing you don't want to end up is with it being see-through or something not being right. So sometimes it might seem like you're going to spend an extra hour, but in the long run, you know, if there's a mistake with it, you could save yourself a day. Right, so we've got all the first coat laid down now. We'll give that, I'd say probably about a 10-15 minute window, just to make sure that's gone nice and tacky. It is quite cold in our booth. We don't have the option of having a heater running while we're painting, which can make it a bit tricky sometimes for runs and stuff like that. But you can do it, and you know, we don't have an issue with it as long as you're careful. And that's not to say that it don't get runs. You know, at the end of the day, you're always going to get a run at some point. You know, especially on things like this. We do a lot of resprays at this shop, so we're always trying to get them on nice and wet and nice and glassy, because it saves time when it comes around to flatten and polishing. You know, the better you can get it off the gun, and the less time you're going to spend polishing. So it just makes good sense. Now, some of this, the rest of this video, I have sped up, because obviously it does take quite a long time to put a full coat of this on. So you just have to excuse that. It's not me trying to stop you guys from seeing anything, or, you know, trying to make this any faster for me to edit. You know, even in a video like this, by the time I've put it all together, done all the narration and everything, converted it on the computer, uploaded it to YouTube, and then YouTube's processed it, and then we've added everything in. This, you know, there's still probably 4 or 5 hours work just in putting one of these videos up for you guys to see and getting all this info on here for you. But I have to say that the support that we're getting from you guys, and also the support we've started getting from some firms as well. The next couple of videos we're going to be getting some products that have been sent out to us by Auto Paints Brighton, which is quite overwhelming really. We're still quite a new young channel, but we seem to be getting a lot of support from a lot of places, which, you know, I can only say is overwhelming. When I started putting these pictures, well, these videos up, I didn't think we were going to get this much interest in it, to be fair. You know, if we'd have got 20-30 people watching these videos, I'd have been happy. As it turns out, you know, at this point we're nearing 150 subscribers, and we've had over 3,000 views, which is just unbelievable. But with that said, guys, you know, you can be rest assured that I am putting a lot of time and a lot of effort into this channel. Working with a few people at the moment to hopefully get some really good content and some really fresh content for you guys. And also, you know, I don't want to stick to one clear or one direct gloss or one spray gun or one filler. So the idea of teaming up with someone like Auto Paints Brighton is so that we can get some different lacquer samples sent out, some different polishes, and bits and pieces that are different to what I normally use, so I can give a bit of feedback on those, and we can compare stuff to the everyday stuff that we see. So rather than just going through and saying, right, this is the lacquer that we use at this shop, and every video being the same lacquer, what I want to be able to do is to get, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many we can get, different types of lacquers, different types of primers, fillers, everything, so we can get, the best way of putting it, a really good all-round view on what products are out there, what feels good, what goes down nice, and what doesn't as well, because obviously no matter how many products are out there, there's going to be good ones, there's going to be bad ones, there's going to be cheap ones, there's going to be really expensive ones, and obviously, as you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm a freelance painter. I get paid for the work that I do. I don't pay out for materials, so I've got nothing to gain by getting more products and more stuff on the channel. Financially, I'm not going to gain anything from teaming up with a firm. It just makes good sense for the channel, and especially with the way it's growing. We really want to get the channel being as good as we can for you guys. So as you can see on this second coat, we basically put it down exactly the same as the first coat, no different. But all I did with the gun is I just went a little bit slower, so we've gone on that little bit wetter. So on this final stage now, hope you guys have stayed till this point. What we're going to do now is just going to run through a few short photos of this job, starting off at the primer stage, then this colour, then the masking, and then the final finished van once it was done. I will try and get some pictures up shortly of the complete van for you guys once we've got all the doors and everything bolted back on. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and if there's anything you want to see in these videos, hit us up on Instagram, comment on YouTube, let us know what you want to see, and we'll do our best to get it for you. So thanks again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.